Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I'm here on the show, and I'm here to talk about some NBA news. We're going to get all the latest news here, a lot of stuff, so we're just going to probably get around to it. So, via Real Mike B, Daryl Morey, 76ers, either owner or GM said, end quote, we're planning on being the best team in the East next season. Yeah, here's your odds at the 1 seed in the East. It's not looking good. You got the Boston Celtics. You got the New York Knicks being top 2. I don't see it. Isn't every contending team contending? I don't know why this is news. He basically just said they're fine in the East, but I hate telling you bad news. I don't think it's gonna happen. But who's their third piece? You got Tyrese, so you have Joel. But who else do you got? You don't have that third piece. But it's just like, how do we tell them it's not going to happen? I don't think you'll be the best team in the East next season, Mr. Morey. We gotta talk about the Sixers again. People have mentioned Jeremy Grant and Brandon Ingram as potential targets for the Philadelphia 76ers, per at Zach Lowe NBA. End quote. People have whispered Brandon Ingram. People have whispered Jeremy Grant. Neither of those are as exciting to me as Paul George. I don't know what the hell is going to happen here, but we're going to get some clarity there on Saturday, I think, when Paul George either opts in or he opts out of his player option. But yeah, this is a name I've mentioned. There's a name that's been mentioned that I've talked about in some NBA news is about Brandon Ingram. But yeah, I agree, it's not as exciting as Paul George, because Paul George, I think, is better than Brandon Ingram. But we'll see what happens. If Paul George does maybe opt out, they could try and get him in free agency. Jeremy Grant could be an option. But they're trying their hardest to land a third star this offseason. Like, they are trying. And it's not like the worst possible small forwards, but there's only so many available. So, they gotta do something. But so many teams are targeting, it feels like Jeremy Grant, but they're not taking him. I mean, that's all we talk about that. The Lakers, they're expected to show interest in Cam Johnson, per HP Basketball. End quote. That third star they talked about pursuing with the 3 first-round picks at their disposal no longer seems as likely, with Mitchell most likely back with the Cavs, and Jimmy Butler likely to remain in Miami. Then again, never say never when it comes to the stars wanting to play for the purple and gold. The Lakers are among the teams expected to be interested in Cam Johnson from Brooklyn. Yeah, there was talk that they were trying to get a third star, basically, but when Mikal Bridges getting traded, well, I don't think he was an option for the Lakers anyways, but they talked about pursuing a third star with those 3 first-round picks at their disposal, but Donovan Mitchell's going back to the Cavs, most likely. I don't see him leaving at this point. Jimmy Butler's going to remain in Miami. They might as well try and get Cam Johnson, because I think he could be a good player. That's another move, just really to make a move. And that would be a nice pickup. I'm not going to say it's be great, but it's good depth. I just don't know if it'll move the needle that much, but he's a career 39% three-point shooter. So it wouldn't be a bad pickup. The Portland Trailblazers are expected to take calls on Robert Williams, per HP Basketball. End quote. Portland is expected to field offers for Robert Williams. Despite his injury history and Despite his Ayton history, Grant is thought to be available, but the price is high. Portland's not actively trying to move his contract. Injuries really ruined Rob Williams, to be honest, because he's been good, but just the injury history. Like, he's a good center, but it's just the injury history has really ruined him. And I had a feeling they were going to take calls and maybe trade one of their centers, because they got Klingon. You can't really have Robert Williams at this point. or even DeAndre Ayton, so you got to move one of those two. It might be Robert Williams. The Chicago Bulls are looking to move Nikola Vucevic, per HP Basketball. End quote. The Bulls are known to be looking to move Nikola Vucevic, along with the never-ending Zach LaVine saga. The Caruso trade both helps and hurts those efforts, because Caruso's contract was a quality lubricant for teams willing to take on those contracts, which now isn't available. End quote. The Caruso trade unquestionably hurts these efforts, but I feel this is about 2 or 3 years too late about them wanting to move Nikola Vucevic. I mean, Vucevic's contract is not that bad by today's standards, but I think they can be able to move him. But I don't know what team would want him unless he gets bought out. So, per Shams Charania on the Pat McAfee show today, he said the Lakers are showing interest in Bronny James via the Pat McAfee show. Well, you don't say, Mr. Charania. Mind-blowing information. So the Knicks have searched for ways to add extra salary to complete the Mikal Bridges trade, and previously discussed potentially adding Miles McBride to the trade, or to the deal, per Fred Katz. And quote, the team discussed the possibility of including Miles McBride in the Bridges trade, according to league sources, and not because they are itching to trade away a 23-year-old fireball on a minuscule contract, only $13 million over the next 3 seasons. It's math. If they wanted to, the Knicks could find a third team to route McBride to acquire a first-round draft pick in the process and avoid the first apron hard cap. His salary plus Bogdanovic's would barely top Bridges, but they have since shied away from that scenario, league source said. Yeah, it's not going to happen. They've went away from that. They're not going to trade Miles McBride. They're not trading Deuce. If you just read the last sentence, it's not going to happen. Stephen A. Smith says Paul George doesn't fit with Golden State and would disrupt their system since he can't catch and shoot. They can't catch and shoot. I just don't view him as a catch and shoot guy. I view him as somebody that has the potential to disrupt their rhythm. He's better suited for the Clippers. He's better suited for Philadelphia. He would have been better suited for the New York Knicks to some degree, rather than Golden State. That's just how I view it via first take. It's time for Stephen A. to hang it up, man. He shot 45% on catch, and the Warriors need all the help we need all the help we can get. Like, he shot 45.4% from on a catch and shoot threes. So no, he wouldn't disrupt our rhythm. So, reminder, the second round of the NBA draft begins today in like 5 minutes as I'm recording this. Yeah, I'll do the NBA draft recap when it ends. Nuggets GM Calvin Booth says Denver will be okay if KCP does return, believes Christian Brown is ready to step up. End quote. It would be nice if he's back. And it says, it would be nice if he's back. We'd have a lot of continuities together, but all the stuff I've looked at, the lineup stuff and everything, Christian Brown is one of the best net rating guys in the league. As is KCP, so I think if he's to step up into the starting lineup, I would project that we'll be okay if he does return. I mean, he's gone if the GM is saying this. I think KCP's head somewhere else. But KCP, he's a good defender, but I think the offense is actually probably the bigger problem. So the Orlando Magic, whoa, can offer KCP $50 million total over 2 years per HP Basketball. The Magic are one of the few teams in playoff potential with cap space, along with OKC. They have nearly $50 million cap space to use. With Jonathan Isaac being the highest paid player on the roster at $17 million for next season, league sources suggest the Magic are willing to offer the Warriors, Thompson, or KCP short-term big deal straight at 2 years, $50 million. Oh yes, that is a massive overpay for KCP or Clay. I mean, yeah, KCP's a good defender, and he can solid 3-point threat, but is he worth that much? No. He's not worth that much. I mean, I'm just being honest. Jimmy Butler is determined to have a career year next year per at Shams Charania. I'm told Jimmy Butler is absolutely determined to have a big season next year and set himself up for a major payday in 2025 free agency via at Stadium. Hopefully, if he actually tried during the regular season, it would be fun to watch, because during the regular season, he doesn't really try most of the time, so hopefully this year he actually does try. Corey Kispert is drawing interest on the trade market per at J.K.L. Fisher. Actually a solid role player for a contender. Remember watching this dude at Gonzaga, was a freaking automatic bucket from 3. So much potential. He's been getting better for the Wizards, and this would low-key be a good pickup if they traded him. But the Wizards shouldn't trade him. But if they did, it would be a solid role player for a contender. So the Wizards can place Malcolm Brogdon on the trade block per at Mike Scotto after the trade that I'm going to talk about, Deni Avdija. Alright, before that, I want to talk about some breaking news we just got here about 15 minutes ago. Denver and star Jamal Murray are working on a 4-year, $209 million maximum contract extension this offseason. Sources tell at The Athletic at Stadium. Nuggets will present the deal to Murray, a 2023 NBA champion and one of the best clutch players, and sides expect agreement. So it's going to be a 4-year, $209 million contract for Jamal. I mean, I think it's a good contract for Jamal Murray. He's making championship money. Nobody cares for an all-star. But, holy, he deserves it. I mean, you can't deny it. I think he deserves it. Now let's get to Woj. So the Sacramento Kings are trading Davion Mitchell and Sasha Vezenkov to the Toronto Raptors, sources tell ESPN. So that tells you everything you need to know about the Devin Carter pick last night, which I really loved that pick. Probably one of my favorite picks of the draft. That's why they got him, because they were going to move Davion Mitchell, and they moved Davion. And I know you're saying, oh, another defensive-minded guard. Well, yes. Devin Carter's defense. His defense is good, but his offense is good as well. His offense is way better than Davion Mitchell. And the Raptors are sending Jalen McDaniels to the Kings in the deal. And the deal gets the Kings under the luxury tax, and it also opens up a roster spot. And also the Kings are sending the Raptors the 45th pick in today's second round of the NBA draft. Sources tell ESPN. Sacramento did give up quite a lot. They low-key got fleeced. ESPN sources, Atlanta Hawks are trading forward A.J. Griffin to the Houston Rockets for the 44th pick in Thursday's NBA draft. Griffin 20 was a 2022 first-round pick out of Duke. Well, they're already out on him. They didn't even really give him a chance. Didn't have good value either. So this is a trade I was going to talk about. The Washington Wizards are trading forward Deni Avdija to the Portland Trailblazers for Malcolm Brogdon. And also they got the 14th pick last night and a 2029 pick, sources tell ESPN. That's a really bad decision, I think. Because they might move Malcolm Brogdon, maybe. Flip him for maybe something else, but man, I'm kind of shocked they trade Deni Avdija, because I thought he really improved last season. And that's a really good deal for Portland. A good, promising young player. I don't know why they traded Deni. Maybe he didn't want to play there. Maybe there's something we don't know. But the Blazers are sending the second most favorable of their 2029 first-round picks and 2 second-round picks in the deal for Avdija. I mean, Portland was still a W. But the Wizards did get some good draft picks, though. Our Warriors are trading pick 52 for Lindy Waters. Yeah, trading our only draft pick for a guy that might not even make the roster. But yeah, it's really all I got after this NBA news. Quite a lot of stuff I talked about. But yeah, until next time, Alkalite. Peace.